Hello, everyone. Welcome back to From Zero to SaaS, where we're building an open source payment link platform with Next.js and Stripe Connect. Today, I'm very excited to have Luis from the Next.js core team at Vercel on the show. Luis, thanks so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me, Tor. A pleasure to be here.
Yeah, it's great. Actually, Luis and I, we did do a video getting started with Next.js and TypeScript, I think a while back. That's on the Stripe Developers YouTube channel, if you're interested in that. It looks like the ratio is pretty good. I'm going to post that in the comments. But yeah, so today, what we want to talk about specifically is the this year, the Vercel setup. So for now, what I've been doing is I've just been I just updated the so I've just been running my Next.js project with Next.dev. So YD is my shortcut for Yarn dev. And so, yeah, just been running it locally. And for my environment variables locally, I've just been using this local .env file. I have an extension here that hides the secrets.
Mm-hmm.
And so now what we want to figure out today is kind of this. So I think that's sort of the tagline of Vercel, kind of this develop, preview, ship. Which is pretty cool. And so for now, what I've been doing is the develop piece. So using the Next development server with like React fast refresh. And that's been working well. So that's what I've been doing so far. But then also we want to preview changes. So that's here when we hook our Vercel project up with a GitHub or GitLab Bitbucket project. We can have the workflow where when we make changes and open a PR to the main branch, then we get these preview deployments that we're going to look at. And then ship is kind of the production deployment, production app. And we also want to look at how can we use kind of the live Stripe keys versus the test Stripe API keys. Because I think that's kind of also a question for you, Louis. And I think my thinking was for develop and preview, probably use the test Stripe API keys. And then for production, use the live API keys. I think that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, that works.
Cool. So, I think we can actually probably jump right in. So I just going to log in with my GitHub account. I have a couple projects here. Oh, I actually have a failed deployment. I think I was missing some environment variables. Can we quickly look at that? Oh, okay, it's quite red. Oh yeah, environment database URL. Yeah, if that isn't there, that won't be good. But so we do have the code for our application here on GitHub. I'm going to put that in the comments as well. There we are. And great. So I think I can just copy this GitHub URL and import a new project. So here I can also, I think what's pretty cool here is I could set specific branches and sub directories, right?
Yeah, you can, if you have a monorepo with multiple different projects, you can say that you can do this import flow for each one of those projects.
Yes. Okay, cool. But we just have one project here. Then continue. And
Something else you can do is that you can also set the environment variables if you had some environment variables before making that first deployment with the import flow.
That's good. Yes. So we have a couple. We have a couple of those. Actually, let me quickly uncloak them. They are all test secrets, so that is fine. Now, these environment variables that are set here, are they then set for all production preview?
They will be set for production.
Okay. Right.
Yeah,
okay. So
once
for now,
you finish the import flow, you will have like a first deployment right away. If you don't set the variables here, you can still set them later, but that first deployment will not work. If you set them now, you will be able to see it working right away.
Cool. Yeah. So I might just then set the test variables I have here. I think there is some predefined environment variables, right? Like Vercel URL.
Yeah. All the Vercel _ variables are predefined.
Okay. Cool. Nice. So, yeah, because I've actually been using kind of a just URL and var for like my redirects and stuff. So we probably have to change some code. Then I probably can't reference. I can't do like a URL is Vercel URL, right?
So ideally, if you need like an absolute URL, what you can do is make a deployment and then assign that URL to be the deployment URL that was assigned, right?
Okay. But yeah, I probably should use the Vercel URL because if I set the production URL, then in preview that wouldn't work, right?
You can set a different URL for preview.
Yeah, true. Okay, so it sounds like that might actually not be a problem. So let's just go ahead and set these here. Add. Cool. Then the Stripe secret key. Please don't ever share that with anyone. That's the money maker. Cool. Now the webhook secret will be different. But maybe should I just leave it empty for now? Well, maybe I just set it. We can update later, right?
Right.
Cool. So let's just set these for now. Okay, and then for the URL, I can't know the URL beforehand, of course, right? So
you can. It is usually a match between your project name and then that Vercel.app.
Okay. So I guess we could try. So basically, so project name dot Vercel.
Yeah, as long as that name is not used by another app, you will probably get that one.
Okay, so let's try our luck with that, and then I have the next public URL. I probably wouldn't, like on the client side, I probably, like, do you think that's a valid approach to have like a...
If the URL is not secret, yeah, why not?
Yeah, okay. I mean, I guess I could do a window location.
For the client side, it's always like, okay, to just do a relative path, like a relative request.
Yeah, I think, let me figure out why. like where I actually use this. Okay. Oh. So I have this QR code route. I can actually show you. Maybe I show you the app real quick, kind of what we have. We have what's up, Sitar 259. Cool. Welcome. Thanks for joining. Yeah, so we have the project running locally here. So what you can do is you connect your Stripe account. So if you're a new merchant, then you would say connect with Stripe. Now this is all, not very pretty yet. This is pretty because here I only had to set the colors. It's a Stripe hosted experience. But on Monday, I think, the creator of Chakra UI is joining me, and hopefully after that stream, it's going to be pretty cool. But so, once you successfully went through the onboarding process, you'll see something like, hey, successfully connected, and then you can go to your merchant landing page. So this is your Stripe account ID. At the moment, I'm kind of using the Stripe API as sort of my content management system, which you shouldn't really do, but like for the MVP, I'm going to do that. And since I'm using kind of things like incremental static regeneration and sort of optimizing the amount of API requests that are being made to the Stripe API, I hope no one will be angry at me. So basically what happens with the incremental static regeneration is the first time someone visits this page, we're going to make a request to Stripe, get all the data that we need to generate the page, and then Next.js is actually going to statically generate the page. Maybe I can show you that real quick. Let's see. I have an index page here. And then I have, so static paths is just empty. And then I have a fallback true, which means, so at build time, nothing is being built. But then the first time someone comes and visits a specific URL, we fetch the data from Stripe, we statically generate, and then we have this revalidate interval set to 60 seconds. So within that 60 seconds time frame, anyone who hits the page will get the static page. So even if this is like a flash sale by someone famous on Instagram and millions of people are visiting their page, we only have here 2 API requests to Stripe, which is pretty cool. Yeah, so that's some really, really neat sort of optimization stuff with Next.js. So thanks, Luis, actually, for building all of that. That's really cool.
Thank you. And also thanks to the Next.js team.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you and the team, of course. Cool. And so we actually have this here. So last time we implemented the shopping cart with Nick. So I actually currently have a cart session. So let me clear that. So now I can create a new cart for this merchant. Let's buy a little quokka here. It's just 1,000 Singapore dollars and maybe some stickers. And then we have our cart, and then we can check out. And we have kind of the customized merchant checkout page. And that's also something that we want to do with Chakra, hopefully, is we can access the colors that the merchant has set in their Stripe account for the checkout page. And so ideally, we want to make kind of the design look the same. So that's something. Cool. So that's where we are at. Now, where were we? What did I? Oh yeah, so the QR code path.
Yeah,
sorry, that's code. That's what I wanted to show. So basically, for any product that you have here, you can just add /QR, and really what it does is just it renders a QR code for the product page. So if you wanted to, have someone scan the QR code, you could just go to your product and then add /QR. And so here then, because in the QR code, I need to encode, no, sorry, where was it?
Karsumari, I think it was Karsumari.
It was the next, no, wait.
Next public URL.
Yeah, something like that. Wait, pages. Where's the QR code? Am I crazy now? Oh, product here. Okay. So actually, maybe can I get the URL from the router? Probably, right?
So because this is the browser when you use a relative path to the browser makes sure it goes to the URL that's currently active. So if the QR code component can't receive a relative path, it's probably okay to just remove that and preface URL.
But the QR code needs the complete URL, right? Because someone is scanning with their phone, for example. So the QR code needs to know that. Do you know if I can get it from the router?
You can get it from window.
Yeah, so maybe I just...
yeah, from window, the location, I think it is.
Is it probably just window?
Window, the location, that URL. I like to think it is that way. href, I think. href.
But then I only need the... Oh, well, I guess I could do... No, because I don't need the slash... so maybe can I just do origin? Is that the... I just want the... But that's what I want. And then I don't have to check if it's the client, right? Because it's...
You probably have to check
okay,
it is a client.
Okay.
So I guess that we can maybe change that later.
Yeah, okay. So let's just leave it at that for now. And I'm just going to edit here, and then we'll see. Cool. I think that's all my environment variables. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And then I just say deploy.
Yep.
Sounds good.
So right now what happens is it would create a Vercel project for that repo, and that Vercel project will be linked to the repo used here. So whenever you make a commit or a new PR, that's going to either create a preview deployment or merge to master and create a deployment in production.
Nice. Okay, so we got a deployment that started here. And we see the latest commit that's on the main branch. Cool.
So Vercel knows the GitHub repo is used in Next.js, so the logs you are actually seeing here are the same logs you will see if you run Nets build locally.
Cool. Oh, that's a nice animation. Cool. Little surprise. Sounds good. And so
Oh, it has the Spectre URL. That's great.
It has what?
The Spectre URL, the one we predicted.
Yes. I'm very happy no one has used this name yet. I got the payment.online domain, so that was really cheap, which I was like very happy about. Cool. Okay, and so connect with Stripe. That is all working. That is nice. And so I guess now if I let me just copy this over into my other browser window. Ooh, we have, oh yeah, no, that's expected because the account. So this here is my platform. I have 2 connected accounts on my platform here. And so if I now go, nice, we're connected. And so this is the first time. So you saw the loading, right? But now if I reload this, it's instant. There's no loading because we're just hitting the statically built site, which is so cool. And so if we go to the product page here, for example, first time we're loading the data from Stripe, but now anyone else who hits that page, and anyone on the stream, I'm going to post it in the chat here. Go hit up that page, and it will be super quick. Not the image. I think the image is actually coming from a Stripe URL. Let me see. Yeah. Okay. So that's why the image is loading there. Okay. Cool. So now we have, and this is generally what's called our production deployment, right?
Yeah. Right now you're in production.
Cool. So let's
if you go and see the project settings, you should be able to see in the environment variables.
So I just go settings.
Environment variables. And then you see that all the environment variables used are set for production. And the domain that was assigned to you is actually the production domain. So that domain won't change for any reason. And it is actually yours.
Okay, brilliant.
Yeah.
And then for preview, but for the preview, the domain would always change, no?
Yeah, it generates a different domain for every PR.
So probably what I actually should do is here, the Vercel URL. So that will always be referring to the right one, right?
Yeah.
So maybe
use that one instead.
Let's do that. So anywhere currently where I use process.env.url, and that is just kind of a bunch of server routes because we need to provide. No, wait. Oh yeah. That's maybe a question for you. So in my here, get static props. Can I do a relative path?
No, in this case, you can because
okay.
everything inside get static props executes in Node.js, also known as a server, right? So
yeah,
in this environment, you don't have access to the commonly known browser APIs.
That makes sense. So I need to provide the full URL. Cool. But so we should be able to just do that. Vercel URL. Cool. Give that a save. But then it wouldn't work locally anymore, right? Unless I probably just set Vercel URL in my env.local.
Yeah.
Cool. That sounds good. Okay. Here we are. What is this one? Another one. That's good. Oh, wow. I have a bunch of API routes. Probably need to figure out if I can.
Something you can do is like use the Vercel URL as a fallback. So for production, always set a URL that's always going to be your production URL. So you make sure that one never changes. And then for preview, you don't set the URL and use Vercel URL instead.
Okay.
So for the moment, you can just go with Vercel URL.
But so you'd say like here do like a fallback?
Yeah, but that will be useful only for production because Vercel URL can be changing a lot depending on the deployment that's assigned to one specific change, and that might not be good for
Oh,
production.
okay. And then
That's
could I
that's okay for
in
preview.
production, but in product I couldn't wait, so I couldn't do like if I do this, yeah, it wouldn't allow me to do that. No, so I would have to do that in
Yeah,
code
or
where to okay.
yeah, you could do something like process.end URL, and if that one is not available, then fall back to Vercel URL.
So kind of something like process.env.url like this.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
exactly.
Cool. Yeah, that makes sense because I guess depending on which kind of commit is currently deployed, the URL might be the
Yes,
Vercel URL might be
it will
different. Okay,
continue to change for every change.
gotcha. Cool. Okay, but so now I have a couple of changes. So let me maybe just make a different branch. And let's have a look at the changes. Just got a couple changes here. Switch to cell URL. Okay. And so now I push this up. So this is I have a bunch of aliases. That's great. And so at this point, nothing has happened yet, right? So
No,
all
it is
you
already making a deployment for your change on that specific branch. If you create a PR, you should also be able to see a comment from the Vercel bot.
okay, but would I be able to?
As you can see, it is building right there.
Oh, so I do get a branch with,
Yeah.
and this is using the preview variables.
Yes, it is using the preview variables.
Okay.
And also it is assigned to a preview URL.
Cool. So I could theoretically do, like, if I do a mirror of my main branch to have like a next branch, for example, I could actually get and then just push that branch up. I get a URL for.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. So I could actually basically run both my app in with live keys as well with test keys at the same time. So okay, and this is now the preview URL specifically for my new branch here, right?
Yeah, this is what we call a staging deployment.
Nice.
It's kind of like preview deployment, basically.
Fantastic. So I think that's going to be my workflow where I just have a next branch that is a mirror. I merge the PR into the next, and then eventually I merge next into main.
And once you do that merge, you will replace the current production deployment with the new one.
Yeah.
And use the deployment URL that you have assigned the main domain, basically.
Cool. That's brilliant. But so now if I create, let me see, if I create a PR, let me do that.
So because the deployment is already up, once you create a PR, you should have a Vercel bot commenting.
Yeah.
Saying, here is a preview URL. You just have it. You say that you want to, which is very, very cool for collaboration.
Yeah, that's really nice. I'm actually working with some folks here in Singapore on some open source stuff called Supabase, and that's also where we use this. And so, is that the
Yeah. Also, there is a comment on top of it.
brilliant? Okay. Oh yes, yeah, there it is. Nice. Inspect. So what's inspect?
Inspect will take you to
Oh,
the dashboard, and the preview mode will take you to the live preview.
cool. Okay, yeah, GitHub always opens in the same window. So you just gotta make sure. Oh, interesting. But so now this.
So usually all deployments get multiple URLs. So when you make a PR,
Right.
Vercel builds up a URL that's only for that PR, and so you are sure that URL won't change.
Okay.
So usually what happens is for every change you get a URL with an ID, right? That's unique to that change. When you make a PR, you also get a share URL for any changes you make in that PR.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. So because I might be adding more commits to the PR, right?
And if you share this URL with someone else, they might be able to use the same URL to refresh with the new changes.
Nice. Okay, that's really great for collaboration. So I basically get a unique URL for every commit, so to speak, but then also one that refreshes with any new commits. That was this one here for the PR that's open. Oh, that's awesome. Cool. So now let's see. CJ, hey, thanks for joining. Welcome. Now we have an unexpected error. Right.
And you can check the logs to see what failed.
That sounds good. I have too many things open. Okay, this is where the error happened. I'm gonna close this for now as well, and then just.
So one thing you can do is you can copy the URL or the deployment, then add / _src, and it will take you to the project settings of that deployment. Actually, so copy that URL.
Oh, that's the one that's also in the comment here, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. But I could add. You said, what is it? Underscore
logs.
This.
With the slash at the beginning. / _log.
Yes. Okay. Cool. Oh, nice. That's a handy trick. Cool.
And here you can go on the top. There is
Functions.
functions. Yep. And filter out for errors.
Let's look. Oh, that is very red.
Only also URLs are supported. That means the Vercel URL is not there. So let me see how that works. Docs.
Should I? Do you have any tips like how to debug this best? Would I console log the Vercel URL or?
So I don't know, but the error is clear that it is not there. So I would assume that URL was undefined.
Okay.
See.
Absolute URLs. Oh, is the Vercel URL should be prefixed with HTTPS?
Let's see. So, yeah. the URL of the deployment, and the example doesn't have HTTPS.
So the preview doesn't have HTTPS. It just comes with.
It's just the URL of the deployment without
Gotcha.
HTTPS.
Okay. So that's good. We can have the incremental thought. What is it? Vercel URL. Yep. There we are. And so I basically just add HTTPS.
Yeah.
Like this. Yeah. Okay, but then I also need to update my local environment variable. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3. Is there actually a search and replace across like all?
Maybe you could, but that can be later create like an util that either returns a predefined URL or that returns say the protocol plus the Vercel URL.
That's a good idea, yeah. So I don't have to. That's a very good idea. Okay, where are we? I think we're all done now. Is that it? I think that's it. And so now
You can just make a commit to the current branch. You will update the deployment
yeah.
and update the PR2.
Oh, okay. Now, yeah, I will have to make that util because localhost doesn't have HTTPS,
Yeah.
so it wouldn't work
It
then.
uses
Okay.
HTTP.
So maybe I should add it to do somewhere so I don't forget. Okay. Sounds good. But so for now, let's just HTTPS. And then I just push up again. Okay, and so now will Vercel bot probably comment again, right?
Yeah, actually, it will update the comment. So you already did it saying there is an update in progress.
Update. Oh, okay.
Once
So not to spam the timeline.
yeah, once that
cool.
finishes, it updates the current comment and yeah, that's the deployment URL.
Cool. But so this is the one that should always stay up to date for this PR, right?
The spread URL will change to the new deployment app, so you can see the latest deployment in the dashboard.
Cool.
That should be good.
That already updated, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and so this is the commit specific URL?
I think it's the one on top, I think.
Okay. Anyway, let's see if that did the trick. Yeah, we're loading, which is a good sign. Oh, no. Okay, what happened now? Functions.
Whoa, that's still loading.
Is it maybe no? But the deployment was finished, right?
Yeah.
It says ready. Should I refresh? Does that make sense? Unhandled error. Oh.
Oh, HTTPS on the file. So Vercel URL is on the file.
Okay.
Mm,
Did I copy it wrong? Did I misspell? Let me see. Anyone in the chat has any ideas? Let us know. No, I think
maybe so. Can you check where it is being used? It should be always be used for Node.js.
where do I check that?
In the code.
Here?
Yeah. So that is inside your site post, right?
This is inside. Wait.
Or inside an API.
No, that's the web. But yeah, it is inside. So let's take. Okay, this is the merchant landing page. So merchant, not product. This one. Okay, let me close this down. So it is in get static props, which will be extracted into a Lambda function, right? Because of the fallback.
Oh, I think. Oh, right. I get it. So in the system environment variables, even though those environment variables are available, you have to add them yourself in the UI. So let's go to the settings. So this means
Okay.
that Vercel doesn't populate the environment object.
For Lambda, is that?
Yeah. So let's go to the dashboard for the project.
This one?
Yeah. Click settings, then environment variables, and then for preview, add Vercel URL.
Oh. No, but it says
No,
populated by.
but click add.
Oh. Oh, right.
To be fair, I didn't know that.
Oh, that is, yeah, okay, that's good to know. So that makes sense. So if I want to use it in my project, I have to add it. Okay.
Yeah.
Populated by system. Gotcha.
And what you could
Okay.
do now is make a redeployment or police another change.
So could I, how would I do, could I trigger a redeployment?
Yeah, I think you can just click.
From?
Yeah.
Oh no, I would have to promote.
Maybe just make any random change and it will also trigger a redeployment.
Okay. Yes, so. Okay, but then I have my commit history. Well, we're on a feature branch. That's fine. Okay. Where was my? Okay, and so sorry. There's really no way to.
I think you can redeploy them, but only when it is based on when it failed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Also because redeployments usually don't do anything because
wait, maybe I don't actually have to redeploy because it is a runtime thing, right? Just in the Lambda function? No, okay.
Yeah, but like if you ever change the one of the environment variables, I think it would be bad to like break the old deployments.
Right. Oh yeah, you can. Oh wait, I can say.
Oh yeah, you can definitely redeploy it, I guess.
Okay. So was that the latest one? What was it?
That should be that one on top.
So this is the one. Okay, redeploy. Yes, yeah, that's the one we want to redeploy. Let's. Okay, so it's a top menu next to the visit, and then that create. Okay, nice, good. So we have a new deployment now.
So this should take about 20 seconds.
Okay.
And it is done.
I think it's still. Is it building?
Oh, it's still
Or is
building.
it done? Okay. But okay, we can see it's the same commit.
It's linked
Okay.
to the same branch, but it always is saying in ID.
Cool. Let's have a look. Waiting for build to finish. Yeah, so we can look here at the. Okay, there's the. So for incremental static regeneration, what's the. So if there's nothing next to it, it's incremental.
Yeah.
Okay. But so my merchant page is technically incremental static.
This is revalidating your static profs as incremental server regeneration. I think that both are the black dot. Yeah, it's probably a bit confusing, but both are the black dot.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, so I'm using revalidate here.
Yeah.
The merchant
both
index.
are static generated.
Oh, okay. Both is using right.
ISR is the same, just with revalidation.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. So anyway, we can visit this now. Where was my? No, that's not what I wanted. That's the account. Okay. Let me close all the other ones. And now, all right. Loading. Come on. Yes. Okay. So cool. We learned a couple things. One, we have to. Oh, there's a big thunder outside my window.
I can hear it.
Wow. You probably can't hear that, but it's just. Sorry, I just. Singapore has like very epic thunderstorms, and it sometimes just sounds like a cannon going off. It's pretty crazy, but also pretty cool. Okay, what I wanted to say is, so in my deployment settings, environment variables, so we have the different production and preview, and when we deploy from GitHub, both production and preview will get the same values initially, and then
right now, yes, those will be your test keys, I believe. What you could do is change the current variables that are in production to the live keys.
Yeah, so in production, I would then so first what we learned is for the system environment variables, we still have to actively add them to the project.
Yeah.
And then we can use them. And then also, so to update what we actually would do we remove and then re-add, or could I just...
Yes. You have to remove and then re-add.
Okay, so I couldn't say add. This would throw an error, right?
Actually, it should just fail saying the URL
Okay.
already exists.
Okay. So I would just remove. I mean, this is nice though. Like because you're encrypting the keys, you just remove and then re-add.
Yeah.
There's no point in showing the secrets in the dashboard, I think. Well, maybe for debugging. No,
That's
I like the
what
security.
the development variables are for.
Yeah. Okay.
So you could use this one, like if you have a shared project and you want to share with another developer and he needs access to like some development keys, you could add them here and then he could say Vercel and pull and download those variables for the project locally.
Cool. Should we quickly look at that?
Yeah, sure.
If we demo that. So let me. I'm not sure how quick I am. Well, maybe I can just do. So could I set this? Oh, interesting. But then it would pull down. Okay, let me see just what happens. I wanna see what happens there. And then we have the next public URL, which we'll just do this for now. And then we have the URL, which is well, URL is not really being used anymore now. That's fine. Stripe webhook secret, and that is webhook secret here. And then connect client ID. It's this one. Oh yeah, and maybe we should explain what the next public. While I do this, do you want to explain what the next public prefix does?
Yeah, so the way environment variables work in Next.js is that all of them are available only for Node.js. So you try to access an environment variable from the browser, it will not exist. Having said that, we also allow you to access environment variables in the browser if you add the nets underscore public underscore prefix. So in this case, URL is private, but nets public URL is public for, and you can access it in the browser.
Yeah, that's important to know because pages are built statically.
Yeah.
That means
So you don't want to
anything that has next public and is used in your code is actually publicly available in the code base.
Yeah.
So next public you should only use for like the Stripe publishable key. So that's what we're doing here, and the Stripe publishable key can be exposed to the public, and so we can say next public, and then when you do the next build, it injects those into your client side code.
Also, it is important that it is with a prefix, so you always know which one is public, and you put the prefix, you have the intention, and you know that one has to be public. Just for avoiding for anyone to like leak environment variables.
Yeah,
without them knowing about it.
That's good. So maybe now. Wow, that's a crazy thunderstorm going out there. Anyone in Singapore? Well, it's pretty late in Singapore, so maybe they're not watching. So should I maybe just rename this so we can see? Old. And now.
Actually, can you go to the Next.js docs?
Yes. Oh wait, that's the. Docs, yeah.
And there, clicking environment variables,
Mm-hmm.
you see at the bottom a section that's for Vercel.
Gotcha. Default.
So that's a command you want to use, Vercel add pull, and it will then pull the environment variables to that local.
Into local. That's pretty nice. Yeah. So when you're working with multiple folks on the same project, and you don't want to be sending like files
Yeah.
to each other. At Stripe we have like a vault that is hosted somewhere that you can access via SSH. But that's work to set that up. So what we can do is just Vercel env, and I think it's probably going to complain because what did I do? It's not Vercel login. Okay. Didn't I just update? Maybe I just needed to restart. So Vercel login.
Something important to maybe talk about is that the file is called emp.local because the local has the intention that one should never be pushed into a GitHub repo. So this file is only available locally
for local. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, you should never commit that. So by default, the git ignore for Next.js projects
has all the local files in R.
Yeah.
And this also means that you have just that M. That one can be added to your GitHub repo. So that M can be a good way of putting environment variables that are public, that can be shared freely, right? So for example, maybe the URL of an external service, or maybe some local settings or something like that.
So, nice. Okay, I get follow the steps. Sufficient Emperor Tamarin. So maybe let me do that off screen so I don't show you all my unread emails. So inbox, okay. Vercel verification code. And so I just click verify. Ooh, nice. And so now it just, okay, nice. It just synced. Do you know, does that use a WebSocket in the background or?
I don't know how this one is built. I just know it is Black and Magic.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool.
It just works.
And so now Vercel env. Let's pull that. You might be able to hear the cannonballs in the background. Oh, right. I need to link it first.
Yeah.
Wait, didn't I just update this? Wait, did you guys literally push a release in the last hour? No.
I don't know.
Maybe. Anyway, okay. Vercel. I'm digressing. Vercel. Yeah, I think that's yes. Scope. Yeah, that's me. Found project. Yeah, that is.
Yes. So
good.
Because this project, this repo existed before there was even a project in Vercel. Once you start linking to it, it searches for a project with a similar name. In this case, it found the right project.
Nice. Cool. So maybe while that is building, is it building a new deployment though? Or
yeah. It is creating a deployment based on your local changes right now.
Oh, okay. Right. So maybe let me do this while we're sitting here. Completing. Nice. Do you know what the Vercel CLI is written in?
Yeah, it is written in JavaScript and TypeScript.
Nice. Cool. Yeah, the Stripe CLI, we decided to go with Go. I think just in terms of sort of, running on various different platforms, like including Docker in your like CI/CD pipeline and stuff. And so I think with Go, you can sort of, without any dependencies, bundle it up pretty nicely and then push it out to all the different places. Okay.
Also, the Vercel CLI is open source, so you want to
Nice.
take a look.
Yeah, same the Stripe CLI as well.
/Vercel.
Nice. Okay, cool. So let's try this again. Wait, why does it still? Okay, something's funky. But so you can see now we're downloading the development environment variables, creator.env.local file. And so now here, oh, okay, interesting. But so the Vercel URL, which makes a lot of sense, right? It shouldn't be set. But you still want to say, oh, it's being used in this project, so it pulls down the key for it, which I guess is good. Cool. And so I think I can then just delete this one. Move. Nice. And so now I have all my environment variables pulled down. I think I tested this once before and it had a comment in it that it was like pulled down from Vercel, but I don't see that anymore. So maybe that changed. Okay. Nice. So now we have the develop, development, preview. So development, we use our test keys, Stripe test API keys. In preview, we also use the test API keys, but we'll be able to see it online, as well as we use the webhook secret that is actually set up online. So in development mode, we'll use the Stripe CLI for testing the webhooks. In preview mode, we use the Stripe test API keys and the dashboard webhook secret for test mode, because we can actually send webhooks just directly, because it's not running locally, so we don't need to tunnel it. And then in production, we use the live API keys and the live webhook secret keys. And with that, we have pretty robust setup for sort of continuous deployment. Nice. Yeah, I think, was there anything else we wanted to? Oh, domains, right? So I do.
So you have a domain you bought with Vercel. You can use.
So I actually didn't buy it with Vercel. So I did buy it with GoDaddy, which maybe was a mistake. I don't know, but I have like an old account. So you can see all my failed projects that I never started. So I have both. I have pay.directory, which I actually bought last year. So kind of the idea. Well, it's not a very novel idea what I'm building here, but it's a fun project. So payment.online, and then can I can set this up, right, with.
Yeah, you can link the domain so that it works with Vercel. I think we have the documentation to make that work. See if I can find out.
So maybe what happens if I just do this add? Okay. So then I need to.
Yeah, you have to update the DNS provider to make sure that your link can be used here. Your domain.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. So I actually don't know if I now manage DNS. Is that what I want? Yeah, that looks like it. So a at, is that it? A at, and then just point it here. I mean, if that's all it takes, that would be very nice. Edit points to parked. Just leave this. Time to live. 600 seconds. How long are 600 seconds?
Is what it takes to change the videos. 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Okay. I guess we probably should have done this at the beginning. Well, anyway. I also need to update the landing page because it's still currently the main one, and I need to add SEO. Oh, so much to do. I need to add styling. But yeah, styling. So on Monday, maybe if we quickly look at the schedule. What's the word for it? So that's live now. But yeah, so on Monday I have Sigun. I'm not sure if I pronounce his name correctly. So that is 15 September at 9 a.m. PT, which is midnight Singapore time. Yeah, the creator of Chakra UI is joining me to help me make things look actually presentable and responsive and nice. I'm very excited about that. There's actually a nice, there's an example in the Next.js repo as well. We can try, if we click refresh, oh, it is, I guess it's trying to. But yeah, I mean, 600 seconds, 10 minutes. I think it will take a little bit of time. Yeah, so I think at this point we might just call it a night. I think it was a nice kind of brisk hour. Like an hour is all it needs for you to set up deployment, develop, preview, and ship with Vercel. Luis, thanks so much for walking us through the steps and yeah, joining me once again. Thank you very much. And do you have anything, any last words you want to mention?
Any last words? Yeah, feel free to start using Next.js. It is great. I think Next.js is going to be part of the big future of the web, and surely work every day to make sure that's continue to be the thing. Also, feel free to check the Next.js conference. We're going to have it at October 27. There'll be a lot of very good speakers, so feel free to get your ticket.
Yeah, you did a really cool thing with, I mean, you as the Vercel team with the tickets on Twitter. The like preview generating with the ticket number and yeah, really cool stuff. Awesome. Cool. Luis, thanks so much. And yeah, everyone who tuned in, thank you. And have a good night or day wherever you are in the world. And yeah, do join me Monday where we'll look at Chakra UI. Thanks. See you then. Bye-bye.
See ya.